What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the weekly Dev Talk over on Jellyfc. I hope everybody's having a good day. Just for reference, it is June 19th, 2025. We do this every Thursday at what we shoot for every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to be fair, I don't think we've missed one in quite some time. This is episode 29. That means we've been doing this for 28 weeks in a row. And I just got to give a round of applause to pretty much everybody you see right here. Lupe, Trips, Dragon, and even Walter definitely make an appearance on here quite often. So gonna give a shout out to the early birds in the live chat before we get started on today's stuff and things. Crypto Elder actually made it in as number one. So what's up, Crypto Elder? Of course, we got Batman lurking in the shadows. Plore, Digital Dumber, Jackson Digital, what's up, man? Of course, The Man, what's up? Migrating Rocks, Buddy Love, Black Hat Team, and Lupe. Oh, well, Lupe's in here. Lupe's in the chat, and he's in here. He's everywhere. We can't get rid of Lupe. So I'll go over my fluff, and then I'll hand it off to the other guys for the meat and the potatoes. I did end up coming out with a new BCPC merch shirt, and it is going to be hosted on the same web store that everything else is hosted on. This the Jellyfc or the Jellyfish web store. So let me pull that up so we can show it off here. And I specifically wanted a frocket. You know what that is, guys?
Front pocket.
Front pocket. I enjoy shirts with a frocket. Does anybody else?
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I had those for my work shirts for so long that I got so used to putting my phone in my frocket. Did anybody else do that? Is that just a me thing? I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
It falls out. What do you mean?
It only falls out if you bend over, and we ain't bending over around here. I don't know what about over there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Here, let me get this on the screen before we get off of this PG talk. There we go. Entire screen.
I see my boy Walter out here flexing with that T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me make it full screen.
That.
Okay. So I wanted a little bit of I've been watching some anime lately, so that's what inspired this. It's got a little dragon on the back, some BCPC on the front. It just says bcpc.com. It is a frocket, keeping it pretty simple. Unintentionally, the price on these is kind of high because the frocket shirts are valued. They're up there. There's no cheap frocket shirts, at least not on Printify. So I ordered 4 of these to come in because I need these shirts. It's just part of the process. So if you see them, that's where you can get them. This link is now live over on the Web3. Is that correct, guys?
I don't know. I know we talked about it. I'm not sure.
Definitely should put it in the link section of Discord.
I will definitely make sure it's in Discord tonight, though, for sure.
Let's see. I talked to Dave. I think he put it.
I know we definitely talked about it. Still here with us?
Oh no, the storms may have got him.
Yeah, finally.
Oh no.
He was talking about it earlier. It was
storming.
Well, Trips, are you able to take control?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have
4 children. I know how to just wrangle.
He just lost power.
Well, I have the website pulled up. If you want to take control, I can present my screen real quick.
I can't do that because I'd have to log in under him. Let me here, Lupe, improv for 2 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're seeing your screen right now, so shout out to
I knew that would happen. Okay, right, it's because he dropped out. So we'll just start with the app. First of all, thanks everybody for coming. I think he was in the middle of that. Said everybody's name. I don't see anybody else. Team JFK, he may not have shouted out, but thanks everybody for coming. We've been banging out. Everybody has their individual tasks recently, it seems like. we do have we mentioned it. I'm not sure if last week in the stream we mentioned it, but we did in our community meeting mention we were going to use something called what is it? Open Project, I think.
Yeah, it's open project.
All right, cool. But basically it's just a behind the scenes to keep us all on the same page, but working on,
Hey,
what we need to work on, but having accountability through everybody else.
real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
But I got word from the man, the myth, and the legend that he's backstage right now. So if you can log in and bring him back on the stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, you're fine. I'm used to multitasking. So what we were working on is everybody getting their sections and making sure that we add tasks for ourselves, not only ourselves but others. We don't want to like overload anybody by any means, but at the same time, we do want everybody to see what we're working on when we're working on it. The other part of it is kind of keeping a log of what we've done to show where we're at on each project. So where we're at with it is each of us have finished several things on it, so we're able to work on the next. Lupe's kind of heading that up. I don't know if there's anything I'm missing, Lupe, on the open project end.
I mean, I wouldn't say anything new, but like, I guess you can kind of touch, because I can say it all day, but you guys are getting like more or less the ones that are utilizing it the most. I mean, I feel like it's definitely built some continuity between the team, and like it definitely has like an encouraging side to it, if you will. But yeah, if you want to kind of talk about how it's affected the project, I guess, then that might be good.
Yeah, I think, well, number one, I know for myself, it kept me much more organized as far as how much stuff I really need to do. I've knocked off a couple things on it already with the mobile app, which we can kind of jump into. I'm not able to log into StreamYard. I'm logged into StreamYard twice right now. Let me just show this real quick, pass it off, and then I'll work on getting Brandon back in, if that's cool.
Do that. I'll see if I can get in here.
All right, cool beans. But yeah, nothing really new with the app. I don't know if some people may have not been here last time. Basically, where we're at, just jumping a few hurdles with Apple right now. We've had a back and forth for about a week and a half now. There were some things that they needed documentation on, so right now I haven't heard from them in a while. Sent a follow-up, very promising that I haven't heard from them, in my opinion, just because before it was real quick back and forth. So now I feel like they're testing, and we're going to get it out there soon. So really, really promising on that. But yeah, just real quick, I can show you what we've been working on. The obvious stuff that the community asked for. Faucet, the mining, we kind of got word that people wanted arcade. We're working on getting our entire music portfolio in there from YouTube, leaderboard, the knowledge base. The arcade's really what our focus has been the past couple, I'll say, weeks. We're still working on it, even in the downtime. As we're waiting for Apple, there's constantly work going on behind the scenes. So this, what you're seeing on the screen, actually won't be what comes out, believe it or not. I really think it's cool, the live stream feature, and I'm kind of beating a dead horse with our audience, but this will enable Brandon more than likely to stream on demand and kind of have a more personal relationship with everybody. Just off the cuff type stuff. We thought it'd be cool to have that. I haven't seen it very often. Other than that, obviously the music, I don't want to load that. It might bog my computer down. This is all running locally, but have the current Web3 leaderboard. as well as our knowledge base, obviously, from the Web3 side. So, and again, this is running local, so it might take a minute. I have StreamYard and it running, but yeah, it's really come together nicely. Again, this isn't going to be the finished product. We have made a couple tweaks and whatnot, but very pleased with it and very promising. I think we're going to get some good news here shortly. So that's pretty much it on as far as the mobile app is. You know, we are also working on the roadmap quite a bit. I have a screenshot of that as well. Let me pull it up.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, just
ask and ye shall receive. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, things like this do take some time, but it's coming real quick.
Yeah, and again, it's a moving target, as I like to say, because in our community meetings as well as our dev meetings, we're constantly having new ideas, new things that we want to do, new things we want to try with the project, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey, one thing to note too, while you're pulling that up, I mean, you know, we meet weekly as a staff team to collaborate and also just kind of give everybody a rundown of where we're at. Honestly, our plan is to have a meeting for an hour, and I can't think of a single one of our staff meetings that has lasted an hour. I know, like,
it's like 2.5 last
yeah, this week was like 2.5 hours, and it was just like we cover some things and we cover some things, and then the next thing you know, it's like then the ideas come out, and it's like holy cow, but there's so many things that we can you know, bring to life that I think it's going to be exciting to see what that looks like here in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Yeah, without Brandon, it's not going to let me share the screen.
No, I can add you. It's going to add you to the stage though, so I think it'll be your second computer. So you might want to
it should be.
mute the volume in case you echo.
Yeah, it's golden.
Okay, cool. There we go.
So this is the oh man, that jellyfish, the bottom one isn't. I need to brighten that up. Anyway, this is what we've been working on as far as the roadmaps going. Just, you know, the stuff we're working on as well as future endeavors, if you will. As you all know, the Web3 website development, Dave's been working. Well, Dave, Batman, and Dragon a little bit has been working tirelessly on getting that straightened out, get it kind of revamped. Which takes me to the next section is the mining pool development, which, as you guys have seen, I hope by now, we have several different mock-ups of what we're going to do. I think we've all decided as a team which layout we're going to go with. Shout out to Batman big time on that one. He really knocked it out of the park on that, as well as Dragon's been helping him a lot on that. So kudos to Dragon down there as well. The merch storefront, as you saw, was just launched. We just published it. So that actually happened quicker than I thought it would. So good to have something checked off the list. Again, it's not finished by any means. We're going to constantly add to it. Brandon has been adding at least one product every week, I would say. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal.
Yeah.
So far, he's delivered. So
if anybody, again, chime in, please. If you want to see something in there, throw it in. I mean, heck, start a Discord ticket. That would probably be best, so the whole team can see it. I mean, we're not going to put anything above PG-13 on a shirt or anything, but you know, if you want an XRP shirt, we can probably do that for you. We would rather you buy a jelly shirt, but hey, you know, we just want to help the community get what they want, and it's another avenue. So give us shouts for that, or any or merch idea that you have. Please do. Jelly app, I just beat that dead horse a little bit. Again, it's coming along very well. Very excited. What the communications we've had with Apple have been very promising. So again, hope to see that very, very soon. The marketplace we touched on quite a bit in our community meeting. If you didn't see it, we are, I don't want to say beta yet. Would you say beta, Lupe? Because we have the
For what?
structure for the marketplace, at least on Discord.
I think, in my personal opinion, I would say alpha, because in my opinion, I think beta will be whenever it's integrated into the Web3 portal.
Right.
So for now, the marketplace for us is just going to be kind of obviously in Discord, but just kind of see like show you guys what it's going to look like. So I actually do have the marketplace set and ready to go.
Right.
And that being said, we're gonna actually release it tonight whenever we get off of live stream, I believe. So right now, I told all of the staff team who's going to be a part of the marketplace not to post anything just yet, because I wanted to make sure that I got all the permissions and stuff correct. However, I believe with the help of a special Bruce, that I'll be able to get that knocked out tonight. My biggest thing was I'm fairly novice when it comes to Discord, so I wanted to try my best to
Oops.
to do. Oh no, you're good. I wanted to try my best to make sure all the permissions were set before they were before it was viewable by members. And I'm learning that I don't think that's really a thing, or I'm just an idiot. One of the two. Probably the latter, honestly. But yeah, so we'll finish that up here whenever we get done with the stream, and then it'll be live for everybody. So I would say realistically, I know there are several staff team members that are ready to list some things, and I don't know if it'll happen as early as tonight for some of us, but I would say over the next 2 or 3 days, you'll start to see some products listed. And realistically, for the listings, I mean, we're aiming to um, we're aiming to make it as what is the word I'm looking for? Streamlined, kind of like just easy to read, and also all kind of on the same page here, and not just like a normal Facebook Marketplace post, because the way that I list something could be totally different than the way that Trips lists something. And so my goal is to make the first post, I guess, and then kind of show what that template would look like, and then we can all kind of follow right behind that. And obviously we'll make changes as we create them, but we'll have things like what the product is. We'll have things like the forms of payments that we're accepting. And then also, now that I'm on the live stream and I'm talking about it, I'm thinking of another thing that I need to add, and that's going to be kind of like a baseline of what this is going to look like. And so for the average user, I would say this is kind of like rules for selling. And so there are a lot of things that we've discussed, like for the time being, until we actually like release the full-blown marketplace. We're probably not going to go over the price point of like $200 for an item. We're also going to have certain standards that we follow for like shipping time. So like if you will, on eBay you have like a shipping and handling thing, so you might be like 2 or 3 days. And so as a seller, you're committing to, like, if it is sold, then you're gonna ship it within that 2 or 3 days. And there's some other things that we've discussed which will get posted in a rules page, just so everybody can understand what we're expecting out of the sellers, and be fully transparent, because obviously transparency is the thing that we've built our community on the whole time. And so that's definitely what we want to strive to. So like I said, you'll probably start seeing some of us listing products over the next 2 or 3 days. And it's fair game for anybody who's a shrimp or higher, right? So if you own one jellyfish, then you have the ability to buy products at this particular time from staff members. And then once we get into the Web3 portal, that's when we'll be in what I and Trips will consider a beta testing, right? And so for beta, I think we're still going to continue the route that we're doing now, where it's just staff team. And that's just kind of to make sure that like we have the ability to test the platform on side of the Web3 portal and make sure that everything works smoothly in the way that it's supposed to. And then once we get to like the end of the beta phase, that's when we'll start kind of taking applications, vetting some of the, I would say probably more known users and other people that we know that are going to be beneficial to the community. And then after the beta phase, that's when it's like hopefully full blown, like everybody can apply, everybody has the ability to be vetted, and then everybody can buy and sell. I don't know if we're ever going to reach a point where anybody can sell, right? Like you're going to have some skin in the game. So you're going to have to be a jelly holder even in full release in order for you to be a part of this um, side of the project. So yeah, so I think that's the plan on marketplace. If I missed anything, please let me know. But I think that was pretty much it.
I was just going to mention, and this may be too soon, but we were talking about something about not necessarily an escrow, so to say, but a lockup where person says, yes, I sent it. And then, you know, we have the money in holding, or it's in holding. We aren't going to hold anything. I apologize for even saying that. But the money will be locked up. And then when the receiver says, yes, I received it, then the money will be released. Something similar to what eBay does, but better, because it's ultimately going to be P2P, which is what, you know, the internet started as. So that was the
Yeah, I
only...
mean, you know, like a middleman type situation, but basically through our treasury,
Right.
if you will. Yeah.
And that may not happen. I don't know.
Have we outlined anything?
Have we outlined
Have
anything?
we outlined anything that's the kind of product, anything of the products that we want to see on the marketplace, or anything that we don't want to see?
Well, obviously,
We
it's
have
got to be family
any-
appropriate for now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to be selling things that aren't family appropriate, per se.
Nothing adult oriented.
Or
Yeah,
illegal.
nothing political, nothing
Right.
adult, and you know, for right now, no. That's not we haven't gone over a huge outline of what that's going to look like. We're all kind of treating this like alpha beta phase is like a gentleman's agreement kind of thing.
Mhm.
And
Right.
that'll definitely change once we get to the point where like it's a public release. But as far as details go, like right now, especially in the meeting that we had this week, like we're throwing out ideas, right? And we're throwing out a ton of ideas. And we're all trying to brainstorm to find out like what's possible and then like what to look for, right? And so those kinds of things are definitely already on our radar, which is really cool. But I also kind of need to reel it back in a little bit so we can say like, okay, let's just get something out there, make sure that people understand what it's going to look like. And then once we get to the point where it gets to the Web3 portal, that's when we're going to really like lock in and try and figure out what the real requirements need to be from, I mean, first off a legal standpoint, and then also just from like a community sentiment thing. But I think for right now there's not like any real game plan on what can or can't get listed. And I know that like me, for instance, I have some computer parts that I can list, but also I have a bunch of other kind of niche style products. And so, you know, I might branch out and just kind of put some feelers out there and see what people want to buy, if people even want to buy. So
This isn't
we'll
going to
see.
be no Silk Road. This ain't going
No,
to be
no.
no peddle your wares. We're going to keep it on the legit. I mean, nothing, obviously nothing illegal, nothing that could get anybody in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, because keep in mind, whatever you ship, you're shipping across state lines. Also, we're going to try to, I think, I don't know if you mentioned this, but we're going to keep it US based until we can figure all that out. You know, we'll get there at some point, but you're shipping stuff over state lines, so it's, you know, at that point federal. So don't do. I mean, it won't be available to you guys for a while, but don't do anything illegal, please.
Yeah, I mean, and also too, like not to put somebody's business out there, but you know, above Mr. Walter's right shoulder, there's a pretty cool little gnome up there, and
Oh
that might be
yeah,
an
sell
option
them
too. You
now.
know what I mean? Not gonna
Sell them.
lie, I bought a couple gnomes from them. They were
Well,
pretty dope.
3D printing, like I
Yep.
have little
Thanks,
stuff.
man.
I don't know. I could sell if anybody wants Bulbasaur. I print all kinds of stuff for my kids. So I mean, just what it doesn't have to be computer hardware. I don't think if somebody has a vintage baseball card that they want to sell, I wouldn't have an issue with them selling it on it as long as it's discussed, and it will be. And Lupe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is person to person. Like we're just there to show stuff, kind of like
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like
yeah,
Craig
definitely.
is.
Whatever
Right,
you want to sell, you can sell with um the intent that it's not going to be probably over $200. Is it $210? I mean, we're not going to nickel and dime here, but at the same time, it's going to be reasonable because anything that we sell, which I would hope that the majority of you think that we're trustworthy and you don't have anything to worry about. But regardless, I mean, there is that factor of buying stuff on the internet and then also potentially buying things with crypto where there's
right,
literally no buyer protection. And so
right,
we're trying to make it to where like, there's no questions asked. Like, I mean, most people, not all, but definitely a lot of people can handle to lose $200 and it wouldn't be the end of the world, which obviously is not an issue. Like, there's not going to be an issue with you guys having to worry about that. But just for the sentiment reason, we want to make sure that we keep ourselves dialed back to make it to where there's no questions asked. So, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but like some of my little niche stuff would be like sealed Pokemon cards, right?
yep,
I have a ridiculous amount of sealed Pokemon cards. That's been my thing for the last 10 years. And so I could post something like that. Trip said 3D printing. Walter could have gnomes, or we could all sell graphics cards or motherboards for mining, or, uh, power supplies, you name it. Opportunities are endless. And
yeah,
like I said, as long as it's family appropriate, it's not political, and I'm sure there's some other far out there things that I could bring up, but we're going to keep it within reason and make sure that we kind of feel out the market, if you will.
yeah. And I mean, it's something we will have to ease into, and it won't be all at once. There won't be like 30,000 things on it all at once. It'll take. I'm going to put a couple things up. I think Lupe is. I know Brandon's going to do some stuff from his store, which will be cool. We can kind of, I hate using the word, but cross promote. So he can kind of get maybe possibly some onlookers of his equipment that are probably miners looking at us as well, because we do have mining pools. We do have things to offer miners. So, it's not a parasitic, just shilling type
Yeah.
relationship. We have something to offer. And that's why I feel like he wanted to build the way we're building.
Yep. Do we have any questions from anybody watching about the marketplace? I know that was a lot of stuff that we just covered, so I figured I'd kind of open the floor to everybody.
The man did ask if we're going to have fees. I don't think we covered that.
Yeah. So at this particular time, there are no fees, right? So considering that it's the alpha testing thing, we have all talked amongst each other, especially considering that it's the staff, that we're going to take, I think, a 3% fee. All right. And that does not affect the user or the buyer at all. So basically, we've all agreed that whatever we sell, we'll take 3% and we'll dump that right back into the community, whether it be paying for server fees, or it's paying the community wallet, or it's paying our treasury, or whatever else that needs to be paid for the project. We will all do that for ourselves, but we're not going to factor that into prices. That's just one of those things that we're willing to do to continue to grow. So right now, no fees. In the future, probably, and Same thing. I mean, percentages aren't really going to change, but once it goes live to like a beta testing where it's on the Web3 portal, all that stuff's going to be automatic. And so at this particular time, I would say from a buyer standpoint, that won't be a thing that you have to worry about. And also too, you know, a lot of us have talked about like it. we really want this to be utilized, and so in order for you to utilize it, you have to have a place where people can go and they can feel like they got a deal, right? So we're not out here trying to make an astronomical number or make even market price on a lot of these things. Some of us will, right? But for the most part, we're all going to try to make this like some place to give you an incentive to buy. Like if you go to eBay and this 1660 Super is $80, I
You
might
get
sell it
like
for
six,
$60,
you get
right?
yeah, you get $60 of that $80 anyway.
And that too.
That's
So
just that. I
that's
mean,
definitely been something that we've discussed and are actively thinking about. So, but the answer to your question is right now, the fees are on us. They're not on you guys. So you won't have to worry about that. Also, there is an option for you to buy some stuff if you live in Canada. It's probably not gonna be like the forefront of things. However, we do have some staff members that live in Canada, and also we have some staff members that live in Europe. So those staff members, we haven't really discussed this with, but opportunities are endless here. So it's definitely a cool concept, and hopefully we can deliver on the fact that this will be worth it to the community.
yeah, it's exciting to hopefully provide another service to the community, and not to drag it on, but the funds that will be Canadians,
Yeah.
the funds that will be received are, like Lupe said, hopefully we get to the point where we're self-sustaining,
Mm-hmm.
where YouTube revenue is sufficient to run servers. We'll have a little ad revenue to pad that, and then if we ever get to the point, we will just straight up put it in the community wallet, buying jelly essentially. So, because I know Brandon, and we're gonna have a meeting on this as well, but Brandon and a couple people in the community have been supporting that wallet. So hopefully, again, the fees, I hope you guys don't take it wrong, because we are a tight-knit community, and I don't want you to think we're trying to one-up anything, but they're always going to go back to the community, which I think is very righteous of anybody who buys or sells on our marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, this project is like the epitome of what a nonprofit organization should be, right? We're not here to use or to make money off of people. We're just hopefully either trying to pay the bills, or which, by the way, I mean, it's not free, right? It's not like an astronomical number. I mean, it's doable, but it's not free. So the goal is to make it to where we're not having to come out of pocket to continue for this thing to work. But if we do ever get to the point where we are profiting, well, guess what? It's going in the community wallet. And you know what's coming back?
Big giveaway.
It's giveaways
Big
and it's multipliers, brother. Yes. So that's the goal. All right.
So yeah, you pay us and then we pay you. You want to click up the roadmap real quick? Are you able to, Luke?
Yeah, I can do that. Hold on.
All right. I just want to finish finish it off, because we have been working quite a bit on this. Yeah, we just spent like 15 minutes on the marketplace, so good on that. The NFT launch, I think Brandon has mentioned several times, he has a lot of original artwork from a legit artist. It's not just, an AI throwing a couple prompts at Gemini or something like that, but it's legit artwork. We're trying to have some sort of utility tied to it. We're not sure what yet. Maybe a reward, or the NFT may unlock a multiplier. We're not sure. Again, if you guys have any ideas for the NFT utility, just shoot us a message in Discord. Tickets are generally the best way to get a hold of us because we all see those. And then last but not least, on this roadmap, the lottery miner launch. We mentioned several times we love the little Bitcoin lottery miners, whether it be on an ESP32 or those BitAx. I think I know we are going to come up with something along that line. Not sure if it's going to be SHA-256, not sure if it's going to be IoT, not sure if it's going to be DPIN, not sure if it's, there's all kinds of those buzzwords around it. But we do want to have a utility. We do want to make it have a purpose. We don't want to just, say, that's great. You bought a little miner. Here's a little bit of token. I think we have enough minds behind us to make something really cool there too.
Yeah. I would like to say one thing too, real quick, if you don't mind, because you briefly brought it up with the lottery miner thing. I know this was something that me and Brandon had discussed before we started the live stream, and unfortunately, he's not here to give us the full details. And hopefully, I don't overstep my boundaries here. But I know that there has been talk, but amongst the staff team, of finding a way to be able to reward people for using our solo mining pool. And so we haven't discussed the full details, but ideally it would be similar to like a proof of time situation for mining on the solo pool. So we're really hoping to kind of onboard some more people to our solo pool on Bitcoin, and the more people that we have on the solo pool. So if you guys have any of these nerd miners or these BitAxes that aren't really capable of earning you any money from a community pool, if you guys have the ability to throw them up there, this will give us a lot more data so that we can kind of figure out how we can make this work, because there's a huge opportunity for us to be able to influence more people into the project, and that will do us a great deal of help. So you're muted. Yeah, you're muted.
No, I did that on purpose because my phone was blowing up. Yeah, we need input. I caught the tail end of that, sorry, but we do need input from the community. I know there's probably 20 or something watching now. I remember when there was 50 something watching, and we're just in a lull. So if you guys have any input, we're only here to grow. We're not going to tell anybody bad idea or anything like that. I'm checking on what you DM me about, Lupe, and I think pretty much on Dave's end, it looks like they were again working on the privacy end of the switch over to everything to AWS. You can still see my mouse. Yeah, there's just a lot of technical stuff that honestly I'm not too sure what I can share and what I can't. I know personally through the mobile app side, both of them were working quite a bit on basically having everything in one spot, so it's secure. It's all there for all of us to look at if we want to. As we mentioned, we're all going to have access to the Web3, so if we see something off, we're going to be able to fix it. So again, if you guys see something off on the Web3 portal, please either open a ticket or tag one of us. We'd prefer you open the ticket, but at least tag one of us so we can change it.
Especially the small things, because it's so easy for us to miss small things, just like spelling or capitalization, whatever.
And not to cut Lupe off, but the small things are what make us look professional. And I can tell you, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, but the recent community meetings, well, the community meetings as well, but the dev meetings have felt more gathered and more structured. We're trying to be a more polished project. We're trying to, we like to have our fun and everything, but we don't want to see mistakes and whatnot on our website, obviously. So that stuff means a lot to us. That's one of our primary focuses recently. So again, we're just trying to we're trying to put our best foot forward because we're trying to attract new members, and we got a lot of good stuff going on, I think. And the new members, we want to put ourselves in the best light. So let us know if you see anything. My laptop died with me.
Well, I think we've covered quite a bit of stuff. I'll let the chat decide. Hashtag
At
Jelly.
Printify, you can get this little jelly sticker.
I gotta figure out how to get like a 2x2 like foot, you know what I mean, sticker I can put on my car.
Like a big head.
Yeah, like a big one, you know what I mean? Something I can put on my door, on each door.
I remember in the beginning I was gonna wrap my car with jelly.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I had a like a design picked out that somebody did for me and everything, but kids cost money.
Yeah. Well, I'll give everybody in the chat a few more minutes to respond, but I figured that the last thing that I could bring up really is I know that we've been going through ups and downs with the Varus pool, and so I figured I'd give Dragon the opportunity to just kind of give us an update on how it's going, the performance of the pool, and all that. So, Dragon, if you'd like to chime in, the floor is yours.
Okay. Earlier this week, we had a bug in the sorting system for sorting out the names of the miners, and I had to revert it back to an old version just to get it to where the sorting and it would not keep popping up. If you had 12 workers, it would refresh, throw it up, and say, you have another 12. Refresh, and it throws up, have another 12. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, you've got 842 12 workers all the way down the line. So I wound up crushing that out and getting it to work. Well, that bug also had it to where on the left-hand side, you couldn't click blocks, you couldn't click the FAQ, couldn't click connect. It would just show up a blank black page. Wound up getting the sorting 90% of the way fixed. And when I say 90%, I got to figure out why it's sorting capitalized letters to the top of the screen and uncapitalized below it. And it's doing it alphabetized where the capitalized letters, so A through Z capitalized goes down there, and then lowercase goes below that. As for performance, we've been doing pretty good. Been hitting some blocks left and right. We've been having hash rate up and downs, but that is an issue due to a miner that we have on our pool. And it's not because he's pool hopping, it's because he's using a proxy, and at first his proxy went down at his house. He sent it somewhere else, and then I guess he got caught running a proxy on a service that you're not supposed to run a proxy on. Yeah. So hopefully here soon we get that back, and the guy knows who it is, and I'm not saying his name because I don't want him to get blown up.
I got you. But like performance, how are we doing on performance? Because I know that it was questionable for a little bit of time after our tiny little debacle.
Right now we're sitting at, let me do a refresh. We're sitting at 1.69 gigahash.
Ooh, so, devices. That's good.
What about
so
gigahash is crazy actually. What about blocks though? How are we looking on blocks?
Blocks, we're sitting at 28 confirmed. We have paid out a total of 76.6 Varus.
Nice.
Wow. And so for those who don't
we're hitting
mind
blocks pretty regularly.
Yeah, it's good for those people who don't know or who don't mine Varus. The block count that you just gave us, where does that put you? Like, we'll say top third, middle, bottom third. Where does that put us
Let's see.
for hash rate? What kind of performance does that put us
So at 3 gigahash, it puts us in the top 10. Once we push past 5, let's say if we hit 6 gigahash, we would be top 5.
Well, yeah, no. I'm saying though, like profitability per hash rate. So we have what did you say? 1.2, 1.5 gigahash.
We are sitting at 1.6. So at
Okay.
1.6 per 100 blocks, it shows 0.11 expected. So one Varus block, when you hit it, is a total of 3 coins. So with 3 coins is $6.87.
So we're up there considering our hash rate. We're
Definitely.
hitting blocks a lot better than
Yeah.
some of the other bigger pools.
We're currently sitting at 7th place right now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And we hit blocks. We're normally hitting blocks right around every 4 to 7 hours, but that was with our big hash rate guy on there.
Okay.
But he's also over half of our hash rate.
Yeah.
So we're now at roughly 7 to 14 in between each block find.
Okay. I love it.
But it's gonna be going up here soon. Hopefully he fixes his issue.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the update on Varus. It looks like we're doing extremely well on Varus. I got 2 more things to add, and then if anybody else has anything they want to talk about, feel free. But when it comes to the pools, I mean, obviously, we did really well for ourselves with Warthog. We've done really well for ourselves with Varus. And not to say we never had any hiccups, right? We had hiccups. We worked through them. And so, like the roadmap says, like, it doesn't end here. We don't know exactly what we're gonna do after this, but LEL definitely gave us a suggestion in the chat for a Bitcoin Cash solo pool, so that's something we can discuss in the future. But yeah, we're not done here. We're not
I'm not
a
done
winning
yet.
pool, right?
I keep finding new stuff to do, man. That's the thing. Like, I have such ADHD, as you, can probably tell, but like, it was like, okay, work on social in the beginning. Okay, now we need you for the mobile app. Okay, now can you help out with the road? And it's cool stuff too. It's not boring stuff. So I think I speak for the whole staff in saying that we're still enjoying what we're doing. We have fun. I mean, our community meetings, we stick around afterwards and BS for a half an hour after a 2.5 hour meeting. So
right. The last thing that I'll say is it's been on our radar. It's something we've discussed as a staff team. We're not sure exactly how to iron out the details just quite yet, but I will tell you that for the immediate future and moving forward, like, it's definitely something that we're going to try to figure out. But we really want, because at first it was really cool to be a whale, right? You had special privileges, like you got the whale chat. You got a little whale icon. There was a lot of things that were cool for the whales, and that those things have kind of died off as far as, like, coolness, I guess. But we really want to do something for the whales. We want to make sure that, like, there's an incentive for you to be a whale, and obviously, like, in our current state, giveaways and stuff are not as prevalent as they were in the past, but there's definitely a focus on that. So hopefully within the next few weeks or a month, you'll see something that makes you want to continue or to become a whale. So I'll just throw that out there.
it's going to be something. I feel we're actually, spoiler alert, we're literally chatting about it in staff chat right now. We're going to make it a priority, and we're going to make something cool. You know what whether it be like a giveaway or I don't know. If you're a whale, shoot us ideas what you want.
Open a ticket, baby. Let's go.
Within reason. We're not giving you a 50-90.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do something cool for the whales, definitely.
I want 1 million.
Jelly.
I want
yeah.
1 million market cap. That's all
Yeah.
I want.
Phew, who you telling, brother? Yep.
We'll get there, and I mean, it's all a matter of time. Who was it, Lupe? You told me don't worry about the things you can't fix.
Yep. You can't worry about things you can't change. If you
No.
can change it, worry about it. If you can't change it, keep it moving.
Exactly. So we're chugging along. I'm gonna go check
The
my
ride
email.
is just beginning.
Yeah.
Guys, we got 19 people watching. We got 14 votes. Let's get, or 14 likes. Let's get those last 5. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
please hit the algorithm likes us to say smash the like, and please hit the subscribe button if you didn't. Something about bell notifications, turn them to all. But you wrap it up, Lupe. I talked plenty tonight.
Honestly, I think that's about it. I'll pull up the chat. We'll give you all about 15, 20 seconds. And the neck, brother, long time. Let's go.
Long time no see, man.
The neck is here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
Cool. Hey, just a reminder. I'll say this, and then we'll end it unless somebody in chat has something that they want to bring up. But just so everybody knows, for those of you who aren't regulars here, we do weekly community meetings on Sunday nights, and it's at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So the purpose of the community meetings are for you guys to get to hear from the developers to see like what each sector of the project is working on, kind of where we're at in the process, and then also potential where we're going in the future. And so it gives you guys the opportunity to ask questions and make suggestions, which honestly, for those of us who are here in this live stream, like the suggestions are so crucial for us because I mean, we're all regular people just like everybody else, and we don't have all the answers. And so being able to see somebody else's perspective is a huge part in us being successful. So we really hope to see you guys in some of these community meetings because over the last, well, we've been doing this for 2 months now, huh?
the community
Almost, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while, and honestly, the information and the data that we've received from some of the community is, you know, stuff that we've implemented now and things that either we wouldn't have thought about or things that like greatly could impact the project. So just want to remind you guys that that is an option. You don't have to be there, but we definitely would like to see you there, and it definitely helps us continue to grow. So Mr. Rico said he's been lurking, you know, shout out to Rico. And cool, that's all I got. Anybody else got anything to add?
No, I'm golden. I'm
We're good to
golden.
go.
Not really.
All
right, y'all.
Check my email and maybe head over to Discord for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, thank you to everybody who joined and participated in chat. Hit the like button. We greatly appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here. And if you're free and don't have anything to do, I think there's a few of us that'll be in Discord. So
Yes,
we
sir.
will see you there.
Later, taters.